What's up, Young Bucks Soul Goats, number 111. I got Ben with me here from Central Utah Paranormal. What's up, Ben? How you doing?
I'm doing great. It's always fun to be here with you.
Yeah, man. It's good to see you again, man. So we are on the not on the eve, a couple nights away from Halloween. This is our Halloween episode. Ben, I know what you do. You're out there looking for ghosts and stuff like that. Is this holiday have a special meaning for you because of what you do, or from when you were a kid, or not at all? What does this day mean to you?
I'd say throughout my whole life, it means everything to me. Halloween's my favorite time of the year. I love the fall because I hate being hot. So the fall, Halloween, everything that comes with it is always going to be a part of me. But as far as activity, I do think it spikes.
Oh, really? Okay.
Yeah. It might just be the whole ambience,
Okay. Yeah, for sure. Now, I know you're out there in Utah, born and raised, right, in the area where you're at, more or less?
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
What are like some of the traditions you guys would do as kids and stuff? Like, what are some of your, like, when you think back of when you were a kid, Halloween stuff?
Like we've always had just the standard trick-or-treating. When I was a kid, they used to have one day at the library towards Halloween where they would bring everybody in and they'd read those old books that have all the scary stories to tell in the dark.
Mm-hmm.
If you remember,
put a flashlight up to your face and stuff.
So they'd always read from those books and do the jump scares. And as a kid, we always looked forward to that. But as we got older, it was more just pulling pranks on people and going trick-or-treating and people getting mad because we were too old to be trick-or-treating. I remember one year I had a girlfriend and one of her friends wanted to go and get scared. So we went and told some scary stories in the cemetery, and a few other friends saw my car there, and so they all come running through the cemetery trying to find us. And all of a sudden, 4 cop trucks all pull up and surround my car, and we're in the cemetery, so I'm watching it, and I'm like, do I just go talk? Just go talk to them. And I did, and they just chewed my ass for like 10 minutes. If there's any destruction here, if there's any vandalism, it's like, no, we're just telling scary stories, trying to scare each other. Calm down. But
I've told that story. That similar scenario happened to me one time. I've said it before on the show, where we went, like, me and a girl I was dating at the time, and then my friend and like her friend. It was like a double date type of situation. And then we were watching scary movies, and we decided, like, we wanted to go maybe play the Ouija board or something at a cemetery, just to make it, add the difficulty. We never ended up playing, but we did go to the cemetery, and the cops came right away, and then they tried to, like, pin on us some damage that some other people had done there before in the what do you call it, the mausoleum, that building they have in there. Is that what it's called? Yeah. So there had been like some
that sounds right.
Yeah, they tried to pin it on us, but eventually we got out of it. But it was not fun, for sure.
Yeah. I remember they took down all of our names.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
That's the last time I went into cemetery for those type of purposes. For fun, let's say. It's really not a place to go have fun, Are you familiar a lot with like any of the origins of Halloween and stuff like that?
Not good enough to quote it. Like my wife could. My wife's all about Halloween and everything that comes with it.
Well, hopefully, Morticia will join us soon. I know she knows a lot about it. We did a show on it last year at some point, and oh man, there's like a ninja in the back room here, I think. What's up, dude? What are you, ninja?
Yep.
Finish him.
Yeah. Are you Scorpion or Sub-Zero or which one?
Noob.
You know, it's a little bit muffled.
Okay.
Maybe.
Yeah, now.
Just put the mic a little bit closer. No, keep the mask on, dude. We don't want to. Oh my god. How you doing, bro?
Pretty good. How you guys doing?
Pretty good, man. We're just here chopping it up a little bit about Halloween and talking to Ben and hanging out, dude. That's all.
How you been, Ben?
Pretty good. How are you doing?
Good. You been staying busy?
Yeah, actually, yes.
Has there been any? Sorry,
yeah,
go ahead. Thank you.
You had a paid gig, or you said the last time.
Yes, we just had it this last weekend, so we're just getting back from that.
What up, D?
Anything you can talk about?
Yeah. So we actually, have you ever heard of the Tahoe Biltmore Hotel and Casino?
It sounds familiar. The Biltmore sounds familiar.
Yeah, it's in, I always want to say Crystal Lake, but that's wrong. Like Crystal Bay, Nevada.
Crystal Lake is,
yeah.
Is it
Friday
Michael
the 13th.
Michael Myers?
That's Jason.
No, Jason.
I always get those guys confused. Okay. That would be something if it was in Crystal Lake.
I know. Well, it's right by the Tahoe Lake, so yeah, I always want to call it Crystal Lake, but it's not. But it's only like half a mile away from the California border, so it's like right there.
That's where you guys were doing the investigation at?
Yeah, so I had heard of the building, but I never knew it was haunted, and they kind of were really vague with the information that they gave us, which I guess as an investigator is good because you want to go in there and find out names and stuff like that, and then if those match up with things that other people have gotten, then you know you're more spot on than if you went in knowing all of these stories. The only story they told us was her name was Mary, and all of the staff see her all the time. She died in the 60s. She was not like a go-go dancer, but something to that effect. And they'd see her wandering the halls and stuff. But when she'd look at you, her face was all gone. But you could see everything else, but not her face. But it was built in.
Is that place still in functioning, or it's an abandoned place?
Nope, still functioning. They're actually going to tear it down, and they're tearing it down in 3 years. So I think they're going to have us do it next year too, just for probably the event itself because it won't be here for much longer. But it was built in like 1925 by the mob to take care of like their money, drugs, and hits and all that kind of stuff. And so we actually got to go. Well, we had full access to every room that wasn't, I guess, being used or paid for. But they had and it was like straight out of The Godfather. Like the bottom floor was the casino, and they called their meeting room the mob room. It was just a long table with about 12 seats and then one at the very head. So like you knew that would be probably where the mob boss and everyone was sitting. But
for Vito Corleone.
And we got voices and screams, and there's even one that we got that was pretty crazy. So we're getting all these things like death and murder and words that coincided with that. And then when we started getting someone to talk to us, it was full sentences, but it sounded like someone had been stabbed in the neck and just was like gurgling blood when they were trying to talk. That was pretty. I had never had anything like that before, so that was pretty intense.
Ben, is this it right here that I have it on the screen? Is that it?
Yep, that's it. And actually,
Okay.
if you look right at where it says casino and hotel, if you follow that peak up just to that that first window that's at the top of that lower peak, that room. So from the outside, that looks just like it'd probably be a normal hotel room, right? So once you go in, you go up to the third floor, and you go to that door, and you open it up, and it's just this really short hallway, which was difficult for a fat guy. So I had to walk in sideways. It was not a big hallway. I mean, most mobsters probably weren't super big either, but walk all the way down there, and then all that was in that room when they first got this building after the mob, this long hallway, and then a table, like an end table, super small end table, a phone, like an old rotary phone, and a chair. And when you looked out that window, you had a perfect line of sight for every entrance and every street that approached the casino. And so they would just sit up there, and that was their job, was to watch for when the police were going to come, or someone they didn't know was coming, or maybe a rival mob or a rival gang. And then all they had to do was reach over and say, hide the drugs, like get rid of the bodies, they're coming right now. So we also got a lot of voices and things like that in that room in particular.
It's a shame that they tear these places down, right?
Yeah, and I can't.
It was like a beautiful building.
Yeah, I mean it's not very well taken care of on the inside, but they also have a really hard time maintaining their staff because of all of the crazy shit that happens there.
Do you guys have like a video out on this, or you're preparing a video?
I have some video. I have some video clips, but so the only thing, like the only miscommunication, I guess you could say, when we got called to this was we didn't have to worry about camera equipment because we had to sign waivers that people were going to be following us around with cameras and videoing everything, and then we would be able to have access to that video. So one of the guys, so there was about 9 teams. One's actually from Florida, southern and northern Florida, called War Party Paranormal. And that was the group that I was with.
Oh, but luckily I follow them on Instagram, I think. Do they have like like an Indian logo or something like that?
Yeah. So the guy that created it was native. So it's like a skull with a full headdress.
Yeah, I've seen them around. Yeah.
But I was with Eric, who's the leader of the Southern team. And he brought like full 4K cameras and videoed everything when I was with him. So he sent me clips and things of the voices and things that we got. And I had my voice recorder going for all of it. So I know I'll have some voices and things on it. But cool. There was one in the mob room downstairs.
He left a comment, you saw it?
Oh, yeah, I put it up.
I'll say I might have missed it.
He said he did a paranormal investigation with a crew from Virginia. It was a lot of fun, but they didn't have any hits.
It is a lot of fun.
Probably like very adrenaline pumping.
Oh yeah. Well, that's
even if you don't hear anything,
good thing too. Like I'm glad they said that they didn't get any hits, because honestly, you go to so many different places, and you can show people like, yeah, you can go to a location, you can go to a haunted location, you can go somewhere where you've never been, and you're just looking for answers, and you'll get some areas where you get absolutely nothing, and that's okay. Like, some people are like, oh, I can't do this, I'm not good at this. No, you just need to go to a different area and try it again, or come back to that area later and try it again. But a lot of
it's
people
just like I would equate it to like I go hunting for deer with my dad. There's a bunch of times we go and we don't see anything, man. And but you still can have a good time.
Mhm.
The experience can still be cool.
Yeah.
It's not all about. I mean, obviously that's the goal, right? But it doesn't mean you didn't learn anything or you didn't, experience. There's the whole thing is an experience. It's not just the the end. The end is not always everything.
Yeah. And that's what so many people stop. Oh yeah, I was on high alert the entire time.
I thought he was going to say I was high the entire time.
I was high as shit. No.
Yeah, but that
would
goes
be-
for anything, man. You shouldn't quit after just a couple times of anything. It's like things take time, man.
Yeah, and it's like anything. Like it's just like going to the gym. It's building a muscle. You gotta keep going. You gotta keep doing it, or you're not going to get the results that you're looking for.
100%. So, would you say this was one of the places you've been to with the most activity, or where would it rank?
I would say it's definitely up there. I'd say it's a
full
close
sentences-
like number 3 or number 2.
Full sentences is kind of rare, right? That's not that common, right? You said you had some of those.
I've only really had full sentences in probably 3 locations. All the rest is usually just words, like direct answers, yes or no, or just a couple words next to each other, but not a full blown like I'm here to kill you and this is why kind of thing. The hospital, Virginia. I've never been there before.
Yeah, D is a Virginia. I think that's where you live, right? In Virginia, D? You know what I saw for sale the other day on some email? I don't know how I got this email, but anyways, it's an email that shows you like weird buildings or historical buildings when they come up for sale. And it was a prison, like a very old prison. And I thought, man, there's got to be some bad mojo in that building.
They were selling the prison?
Yeah, they were selling. It wasn't a big building. It was probably, it was a 2-story building, and probably like 1,000 square feet in the bottom and 1,000 in the top. It was in a small town. It wasn't like a very big jail, but it looked old. It was over 100 years old, and like it looked like a castle kind of construction. But I thought, Jesus, what would you do with that? You wouldn't want to live there, right?
No.
There's actually one for sale here in Utah. I'm looking it up right. I haven't looked it up for a while, but it started at a few $1 million, and the last time I checked, it was only 1.5 million, and it was 17,000 plus square feet, like rec
That's
yards,
huge.
Yeah, that's
basketball facilities. Let's see if I can find how much it is now. But
let me see if I can find the one I was talking about. And I want to say it was.
Walking Dead.
I don't want to talk out of my ass here. I don't remember. I thought it was like on the East Coast though. Oh look, I found it right here. It's in Ozark, Arizona. It's only 250,000. Check it out, guys. You see that?
okay,
2,500 square feet on like just over half an acre. I don't know if they have any more pictures.
That's actually pretty cool looking.
It's on the water.
Oh, look at that.
Yeah.
It's also waterfront property.
Beach house. Yeah.
I don't know. Maybe you can.
Those guys were in prison in luxury, man.
Maybe you can make like a cool bar or restaurant there. I don't know.
Yeah, definitely.
And that's going to be haunted as shit too.
Yeah, that's another. I'm saying there's got to be like mojo in there, dude. Like, probably some dudes died in there. Who knows, man?
You ever done a prison, Ben?
I've done outside of two separate areas that were small jails, but I've never made it into a prison. The one that's for sale in Utah, I'd actually like to do an event there, and there was some pretty shady stuff that happened there about 6 years ago. So they were tasing the inmates and promising them like food and stuff, and then they wouldn't give them anything. They'd just be like, "Oh, go away!" Like, you can't do that. Like, you can't do it anyways. But if you're gonna tell them I'm gonna give you a bag of chips if you let me tase you, you better give them a damn bag of chips.
Here's another one, man. This is a jail. Oh, it says off market, but it was a jail in Delaware, Ohio, not the state of Delaware. I guess this is a city, Delaware, in Ohio. And they had it listed for $300,000, and this thing is 8,500 square feet. It does look a little bit unkept. Yeah, I don't know if it looks lopsided or that's the picture. It doesn't look like it's in great shape, but I guess people don't really want jails. That's why it's so cheap.
Well, wait, let me see. Go up.
Yeah.
It is. Maybe the ground came up.
Is it falling on its foundation?
Maybe.
Maybe tectonic plates hit each other down there.
It looks like it's tilting to the front.
He said it looks like the building from Shawshank.
Oh man, look at this, dude.
Yeah. I love the old iron doors, iron bars.
Look at that.
Everything.
Here's the library. You could never make this feel like home.
That looks a lot better on the inside than I expected it to, though.
Yeah.
I was expecting like raccoons and rat shit and holes and
dead bodies.
I was not expecting that to look that good.
Here's where Freddy Krueger hangs out in the building. Yeah, I don't know who buys these things, man.
So it looks like I just found the one that's for sale in Utah. And since the prices of homes and properties all gone up, they've raised the price $2 million.
Oh my God.
Yeah, so now it's 3.5 million, 15,680 square feet and 12.4 acres.
Does it have a name?
Daggett County Jail. Yeah,
Daggett County.
He got it.
Jail. Yeah.
The troubled jail. Oh, where's that?
Is this it?
Yep, that's it.
Oh, but this is like a pretty modern building, right?
It's only like 17 years old.
Okay.
I think they built it in 2004. And it's been shut down since 2015 when I started working. Because when I went through the police academy, that was all they talked about was don't tase inmates for chips.
Tase inmates for chips.
I mean, who's the potential buyer for this, dude? Jeff Bezos to put a fulfillment center? I don't know who would be in the market for this. Is it in a is it a small town area where it is?
It's very small. So I believe they housed mostly state inmates. And that was how they made money to even run it, because Daggett's probably not much bigger than where I live.
You got the link in the bio? I think Morticia's trying to hop on.
I emailed her the link, and I do have the link in the bio, in the description of the video. Let me test it. See if it's working. How do I test this?
Let me see. Yeah, I could test it out.
Okay. So, yeah, I have a feeling this is going to be on the market for a long time, Ben.
Yeah. I mean, and it was 1.5 million, the last time.
You still got a chance to get it, Ben. All right.
Well, so what I want to do, this place has gotten a really bad name because of what some people did there. But I mean, the sheriff was fired. All of the administration was all fired. but I'd like to like set it up with their city and do like a charity kind of thing and go through and do all these tours and then just give all the money to them to help with all of the because like a lot of them lost their jobs and like with COVID happening after like they need something would help or but I've been trying to figure that one out for a little while.
Now, is the jail in use right now?
No, it's been abandoned for 6 years.
Oh my God, man!
Yeah,
What like a
because
bad investment they made.
yeah, I started working where I work 6 years ago, and that was when it happened. It was in 2015.
That's
Um,
amazing.
you have anything lined up, Ben?
After last week, I have a couple home investigations lined up. Some people want me to come check some things out at their house, but that's really all I have lined up right now.
Let me see if I can send an email out to.
And what is it like? Like just people are hearing noises, or like?
Mm-hmm. One, so I don't remember if I talked about Topaz on here the last time I was here.
I think you
So
did, but go ahead,
Topaz,
tell us again. Yeah.
so Topaz was a Japanese internment camp during World War II. So after Pearl Harbor was bombed or attacked, um, the United States actually took into custody all of the Japanese people that were living in the U.S. and ripped them from their homes and held them in like no shit like camps and wouldn't let them leave.
Yeah,
And what I didn't know was I thought they destroyed all the homes and everything, but they actually moved all the homes and gave them to people to use on their own property. And some were destroyed, but there's one lady here that lives maybe probably like 7 or 8 miles from where I live that got one of those houses and has since like it's been there for a while, obviously since the 40s. So she's after she got it, she's added on and has different things attached to it. But the weird part is she'll smell perfume and like people cooking like Asian cuisine in her house when no one's cooking. And she'll hear voices and things, but she can't make it out because it's in like in Japanese. So that's one of the ones we're going to be going to.
So what are you gonna do, dude? You're gonna have to have an interpreter.
I know, and that's I have one friend that speaks Japanese, but she's got to be like 70, but she's my only bet. So I'm just gonna go and see what I can get, and then like cut and paste the areas that I get the voices in, and while I'm there, I'll use a Google Translator. So I'll say in English what I want it to say in Japanese, and then I'll record their response.
Okay.
But
Holy
then
cow,
I'm
that's
gonna
gonna be a involved one, intricate
yeah.
investigation.
Yeah. So I'm going to take everything to her and just be like, because, like there's every language has slang words. Like Google's not going to use the slang terms for certain things. So I figure if there's any words that Google wouldn't be able to pick up or understand, she'd be able to tell me what they were pretty easy.
For sure.
But the other places are just they'll see apparitions of people and also hear voices. So we'll see.
Okay, hopefully Bianca Morticia will join us soon. I think she's trying to figure out how to get on. So did you get it, Bianca? I sent the email, and if you check out the link in the YouTube video, there's a link in the top that Tank checked out, and he said it is working, and you could use that. Were you much of a trick or treater, Tank, in your early days?
No, I grew up religious though. I trick or treated last year.
Oh, that's right. You did mention that. You know, though, I think if she can come on, she'll tell us. I think Halloween has some tie-in with religion, because there used to be some pagan holidays that had to do with the harvest and the end of the harvest season, and then there was I don't want to talk out of school here, but I think there was like an All Saints Day, and then a Day of the Dead later, and then the church, made one of them a holiday. It could be All Saints Day, the one that I'm talking about. And then there's at a certain time here in the U.S. also the trick or treat. Like if you wouldn't give them candy, they would kind of like vandalize your house or something. It was like literally trick or treat is where that came from. If you wouldn't give them candy, they would mess something up in your house. But I always trick or treated. It's that candy, dude. It's like it's that kid crack, dude. Literally, man.
Oh yeah.
Like you could see it, man. When you give a little kid candy, they're just bouncing off the walls. It's amazing, dude. That sugar rush that you get off of that. But it's not the same anymore down here. We used to go like, maybe we were like a little bit older, 11, 12. That was like, go as fast as you can to as many houses as you can. You're just like loading up, on all this candy, that you're gonna ration out for the next few months, So you just, and then there was those people who would give you pennies. I don't know if you guys ever ran into the people who would give you pennies and stuff, or they give you like a little comic book or something. Those always, and then businesses used to have them too. I don't think they do that much more nowadays. It's super
That's actually
sterilized.
What we had today. That's what we had today, because I took the high school did one, so I took my daughter there, and then all of the businesses here in town did one. So it's nice to see that still alive here, I guess.
Yeah, that is cool. Yeah, tomorrow they have something at my kid's school, like some sort of festival with some rides and stuff that you could take them out to. And then Sunday night we'll take them trick-or-treating in this little neighborhood. Not here, because where I live there's not that many houses, but this little neighborhood that one of their friends lives that we've been going to for a few years, which is cool. So
You get full size.
that's rare. Not a lot of people do that. But dude, when I went to this neighborhood, it was so cool. There was like this couple was outside and they were grilling, and like they gave candy. Hey, you want a hot dog? You want a burger? You want a beer? You want a water? I was like, wow, man, these people are just Halloween lovers, dude. Where are you, Bianca? I don't see you in the back.
But she's here though.
You're here in spirit. Okay, I'll resend it. How can I? Let me see.
I think she had left her number in the. Maybe you can text her the link.
Yeah, but then if she's on a computer, she's not gonna.
Oh, true.
She's not gonna be able to get it on the computer. Okay, let me check your email.
The ghost in the back.
There's a ghost?
No, D says that she's a ghost in the back.
She is. She's here just in spiritual form. Okay, I don't want to say your email out loud, but I'm sending it to the email that you sent me. And you can also, if you find the video on YouTube, you could, on the bottom of the video, there's a link, and anybody can call in too with that link. Let me see if I can show her if she's still watching. Let me blow this up. Do you see? I don't know if you can see that. Do you see where it says click link below to call into the show in the description? You could click that link on your laptop, and that'll take you right to the green room. So try that if all else fails. I did email it again though. So Tank, are you dressing up this year?
Yep.
What are you? A ninja?
Now we're gonna do a Dragon Ball.
You're a Dragon Ball character? Which one?
Vegeta.
I thought you were gonna say Broly, dude.
Nah, Vegeta's my fave, bro.
Did you have to get a wig?
Nah, I'm not doing the wig.
Oh.
So you don't get to go Super Saiyan then?
Nah. I gotta stay base form.
Put your mic a little bit. Yeah.
Like
there
that?
you go. Yeah. I don't know what's going on with Bianca. She's not in the back room here. You got to click that link in the email or in the description, and then you'll pop up in the back room, and then I'll bring you on. So, what else is going on with Halloween, guys?
Halloween.
Yeah, we need Morticia to come on and school us on the Halloween. She had the 411.
She's not in the back, you said?
No, I don't see her in the back at all.
Why can't you hear me? I don't know.
Yeah.
That sounds like something.
I feel like we're doing a paranormal investigation
yeah.
right now on
Yeah.
why she's not here.
Maybe
Why
I'll break
can't
out my
you hear
recorder. I'll break out my recorder and see if we can pick her up somewhere.
Yeah, you know what I'll try to do? I'll do
Get
what
your
Tank said.
get your EMF meter.
I'll text her the link.
Ben, anything physical ever happened while you've been there? Like whether like scratches or like I don't know if you put salt down to try to get like prints or
I've always wanted to try the people put like flour
yeah.
or like powdered sugar. I've never tried that, but I've always wanted to. But I've never had a house that had that kind of activity. I've had even this one when we were at the last place, the Tahoe Biltmore. At the end of our third tour, so we did 4 tours that evening, and before our 4th tour started, one of the hosts got up and he was like, "Hey," and he started kind of chewing people out. He was like, "If you're here, I don't care if you paid to be here. If you're being disrespectful, I'm going to kick you out." And we're like, "Well, what happened?" Whatever. And apparently one of the guests that was there started like antagonizing one of the more angrier spirits, and it threw something at them. But I wasn't on that particular tour. I had a different group, so they were in a room that I never got to go to. But I've been scratched. I've never watched anything be thrown, but one of our last investigations, it was in February of 2020, actually, I think. And we encouraged the girl to get some cameras set up in her house, because she thought she had a stalker or someone that was following her. And so she set up cameras outside, and she'd come home and her kitchen, like the fridge would be open and a bunch of food would be thrown out of the fridge. And her kids were living with her mom during the day while she was at work. And it was winter, so like there was mud, there was snow, you couldn't see any footprints going in or out of the house. And then she set up cameras and no one was ever coming into the house, but her kitchen area was getting consistently destroyed. Like just fridge open, cupboards open, stuff thrown everywhere. And so I helped her with her house, and we were able to like help some spirits move on, if you want to say that. And she hasn't had that level of activity again. She says she still feels like she's being watched and stuff, but that the angrier presence that was there is gone. But
Hmm.
yeah,
And
we've had a little bit of everything. But
that kitchen stuff, it would happen like overnight.
it would happen while she was gone at work, but there would
Oh,
be no proof or evidence of anyone coming into the home. I think she even put. It's been a little while, so I don't remember all the details without looking them back over. But I'm pretty sure she put tape and stuff on the inside of the doors so she could see if like anything was opened or ripped or cut, and still nothing. But her kitchen would still get destroyed.
that's crazy.
Yeah, it was always funny that it was just the kitchen and not other areas of her house
Hungry
necessarily.
ghost, dude. Maybe it was just like a hungry dude.
Right? Just wanted to eat and couldn't. Just kept falling through.
Yeah. Dan said that scene was taken from his real life when he slept at a haunted house. Dan Aykroyd, I love that guy, dude. He believes in everything, man. Aliens, crystal skulls, ghosts. If you ever want to listen to a cool podcast, check out the Joe Rogan interview with Dan Aykroyd, and it's a good one. It's one of the good ones.
I bet.
You've seen that one?
I
Have you seen
haven't, but
that?
I bet it's
Oh, yeah,
really good.
check it out. You'd like it, I think. He talks about Betty and Barney Hill a lot. He also promotes his vodka, it's a crystal skull vodka, which comes in like a little skull, which is I don't know a lot about the crystal skulls. You know anything about that?
Not more than from Indiana Jones.
Yes, but oh my God, I'm not sure who this is. I'm almost afraid to put them on. But anyways, the crystal skulls before they there was like a bunch of them discovered supposedly in different areas of the earth, and some people had them, but then they said they're fakes. They were made, but they were you'll have to read up on the story. There's some we got a tortured soul here with us, Ben. Maybe you can help us with this person. Let me bring them on.
A tortured dolphin fan.
I am the last Dolphin fan who saw a Super Bowl win.
Hi, his hand fell off.
Turned them all over.
This is I've got Brian Laundry with me here. Let me put him down. Sorry, buddy. How you doing, bum?
You have his hand.
Yeah. Let me give you a hand.
How are we doing tonight, gentlemen?
Dude, we're still we're trying to figure out how to get Morticia on the show.
Yeah, we're trying to get one of the guests on the show. You have to click the link in the email I sent you,
Dude,
or in the video.
Bum, we don't have a epilepsy warning.
Oh, sorry.
I love what you've done with the place there.
We're gonna get pulled.
Is that actually you? Is this your costume, or you have a prop?
No, this is John.
I mean, he was getting old. I haven't seen him in a bit. I didn't know he deteriorated quite to this level, but
This is me without the filters.
well, you know what the good news is? Your hair, you've grown some hair, which that's the good news, I guess, if there is any.
I appreciate that.
Yeah, that looks good. You're killing it on the hair right now. How can we get her on, dude? How can we get Morticia on? What do we need to do here?
I don't know.
In the backstage, Randy, you can't like scroll.
Yeah, but she's not there. I mean, the bum popped in and I saw him right away.
I don't know if she has to push like a down arrow to see the link, or because I just used the email you sent me and it worked just fine.
Yeah.
Yeah, I got the email too.
Yeah, when you're looking at the video, when you're looking at the YouTube video right there, there's an arrow on the left. Over here. Jesus Christ, that's hard to see. You just click on that little arrow, and then that link right there where it says click the link below to call into the show. You just click that and you'll be able to get.
Do you have her email?
I do. Yeah.
Send her the link.
I
Oh
did.
wow, dude, look at this guy coming through with the. We didn't think about that.
Yeah, he's also Captain Obvious for Halloween. I think was the other one. Bianca, I know it's you. You didn't get my email? I guess you didn't get my email.
I'm Bianca. She said I'm Bianca.
I know who you are. Are you sure I have the right email address? You want to send me your email address one more time?
Throw it there in the chat.
I'll copy it and send it in Instagram and see if that helps.
Okay, maybe that will help.
Let's see here.
So, Bum, tell us some of your Halloween memories.
Oh, Halloween is so different now than it was when I was growing up. I mean, it seems like there were tons of people in the street, and that's before people were afraid of getting razor blades in their candy, and people just had a good time, man.
There was always a little talk of that. Remember, nobody paid attention. Oh, careful! Don't get any apples. Who the hell gives apples? But you would never want to eat the apples, right?
Only
I said to get your
Baker
candy
Mayfield
inspected.
gets nachos.
Inspect the candy. That was another one. Like, what are we gonna do?
Inspect the
We're
candy,
gonna do forensics on this stuff. Just throw this away, dude. If I gotta inspect this, I don't want to. It's not. I'll just go buy my own candy.
Yeah, we're popping it through the X-ray machine.
I saw one year that it was like, be careful, they're putting ecstasy in the candy.
Well, where was that, dude? What
I was
neighborhood
looking
is this?
for it the whole year.
Yeah.
Give me that address later, dude.
I remember they were like Pop Rocks, weren't they? But they had ecstasy laced in them.
Oh man, I wish.
It was something like that. Because I remember that.
The pennies were terrible. I hated the pennies.
So is that like for penny candy? Just like go buy your own candy?
That was usually like really old people.
Yeah.
Just here's a penny for your thoughts.
Or they'd give some type of food item, like a sandwich or something. Like, come on.
PB&J. He said, "Come on." You were mad as fuck, huh, Bum?
I was. I'm looking for sugar, not bologna and rye.
I can't say I ever got pennies.
Yeah, we had the penny people.
The penny
in my
bandits.
Yeah, and it was like it wasn't like a lot of pennies either. It was like 10 pennies, maybe. Like, come on, man, what am I gonna do with this, dude?
When Ben was talking about the whole Biltmore Tahoe, was it?
Yeah.
I did have my adventures here in Coral Gables at the Biltmore Hotel when it was closed down when I was growing up. It's open now, actually, but that used to be a big thing that we would kind of sneak over there and try to break into the place and, hear all the stories about everything that happened there. And it was pretty cool. It was always like a big challenge to get in there and try to check the place out. It's fully open now, and it's a really nice place, but it had some great stories behind it.
How long was that place closed?
I think it closed right after World War II, maybe, or the Korean War, and then it reopened in the 80s.
Oh wow, it was closed a long time.
Something like that, yeah. But
it's like a fancy place now, right?
Oh, it's always been a fancy place, but yeah, like really nice place, expensive.
Sarah was there not too long ago, right?
She was.
Did she enjoy that?
My sister actually got married there.
I've never been there.
Yeah, pretty cool. Even just driving by because it's sort of in the middle of a residential area, and then boom, this huge hotel kind of pops out of nowhere.
Now, why is there so many hotels named the Biltmore? Are they related at all, or?
I've
I've heard
only
of
ever
many.
known of the one, so I don't even know.
I know of ours. I found out about yours, and I've definitely heard of others in other cities too. And I don't. It's not like that popular of a name to have so many. Okay, I think we're only gonna get the ghost of Morticia tonight.
That's so sad.
I know, man. That's such a
We're
bummer.
sorry, Bianca.
Let me try. Let me ask her to send me her email address one more time.
Yeah, I put it in the Instagram. Oh.
I assume you texted to her too?
Yeah.
Okay.
Oh my God! I heard a beep. That means somebody's in the back.
Gonna be
Oh my God!
Frank Youth.
No. It's the person we've been waiting for. We've all been waiting for.
Hi, I'm
Oh.
Morticia Mortician.
Hey, what's up?
I don't know. What's up?
We finally found you.
Goddamn, I learned how to use computers and shit.
We were about to do like an investigation with. Luckily, we had a ghost hunter here tonight. Who,
Oh, awesome.
yeah, he gets the people.
I'm a bioexorcist, so I can relate.
After you do your job, then he does his.
Oh, cool. Awesome.
Yeah.
Awesome.
How you doing?
Awesome. So I mean, I have, some stuff. I mean, I was just gonna briefly go over stuff, but I didn't know it was gonna be an act of Congress to get in. Like.
Well, I'm glad you're here. I'm glad we made it somehow. But
Yeah.
go ahead. We were going to talk about Halloween. We tried to do some of it, but we're not as well versed as you. What do you want to tell us about it? Origins?
I got a few little things. As you know, Halloween is a pagan holiday, and it was converted by Christianity to Halloween. Actually, it comes from Ireland, to be more specific. It's celebrated in Europe more than America. It was brought over to America by the immigrants, who came and founded the, United States. With that being said,
what's in that cup?
pagan
What's in that cup,
holiday known
Morticia?
as Samhain. That's how they say it in the United States, or if you're in Europe, it's Samhain.
Samhain.
Yes. And so I just kind of had some little notes, about it. Ironically enough, the Irish, I'm actually Irish, even though I'm Puerto Rican, I'm a mutt. But with that being said, they use turnips to actually celebrate Halloween. And I find it quite interesting that there is a person, damn it, called Jack Spinner, who is kind of like the headless horseman. So in Ireland, they would carve turnips, and they would leave them out and give treats to children. And it was to confuse the dead because the veil of death and life is thin at the winter solstice coming up.
Yes.
So therefore Samhain or Samhain is celebrated as the end of the harvest here in the United States. It signifies what we would know as farmers harvesting their crops, gathering, even animals gathering, squirrels gathering acorns and things of that nature. So it signifies everything you've done through the year and giving thanks for those crops. In Ireland, that was real big. In Europe, really, that was real big. Especially, like I said, in Ireland. And they would give treats, in my notes, I had some really cool notes. Sorry, I just
It's
got
all good. We're
frustrated.
hanging out. It's all good. I'm glad you finally made it, and we're all here. So it
So
was like a year end kind of, not a year end, but like an end of your working harvest season, and you're
right,
kind of doing
right,
this to like be on the good side of the, I don't know, undead, ghost, whatever you want to call it, kind of like
right, right.
offerings they would put out and stuff like that.
And with that being said, that's where you get the Farmer's Almanac. But originally it was brought over to America. Usually it's uh, you know fruit vegetables like pumpkins and turnips that are made into silly faces. Like I said, to confuse the dead. And they usually use a light to signify that this place is, you know, not one to go to. That they celebrate, and give thanks. There are people out there that don't believe in Halloween. They believe it's the devil's holiday, but I mean, really, it has more of a nature connection, a farm. It's like a nature connection. And then you also get a lot of really cool spin-offs and theories and stories and so many things like I touched on. I just want to get his name right. It's called Stingy Jack. Stingy Jack bargained with Satan for his soul. He still ended up going to hell. You should look it up. But he outsmarted Satan, in the pagan tradition. And then from that you get the headless horseman, because he was cursed to have a turnip as a head for the rest of his life. So that you see some parallels with Europe and America, and how the immigrants brought that tradition over, and how Christianity wanted to convert everybody. And it's not a bad thing. But what they did, I mean, it's smart when you think about it. They turned all the pagan holidays into Christian holidays, like
Is All
Yule
Saints
is known
Day
as
one of them?
Christmas, the Samhain is known as Halloween, and things like that. You have the summer equinox that's celebrated by Jehovah Witnesses. Different things like that. All Souls Day, you had mentioned that is actually a Roman Catholic religion. I am Roman Catholic, and I mean, I am a practicing witch, but I was raised Roman Catholic, and
Whoa, hold on. We can't just gloss over that. You're a practicing witch.
I mean, yeah, yeah, and so,
Can you
but
tell us about that?
nah, it's not important.
Oh, come
But
on.
I just will say, as a funeral director, it allows me to be open-minded to everybody's faith, whether they are Muslim. The only thing I do not agree with is Satanism, and that is because it's wrong. If you look at it, you study it, it's wrong.
It's usually
But
bad, yeah.
but witchcraft has a different, it has a stigma. But like, I'm a solitary witch, and I'm a white witch. I practice good magic. I as a funeral director is allowed me to open up to other religions like Vietnamese Catholics, Bhutanese. I've been a part of Japanese bone ceremonies. A lot of Southern funeral directors where I live in Georgia, they would not be a part of that. It allows me to be more personal with the family and understand their needs. You know, somebody might walk up to a deceased and not know that you have to touch them with white gloves because they're holy once they pass. But I know things like that. You know, they're shrouding. I've dealt with Jewish services. I've dealt with the washing of the Muslim women. You know, different things like that. And I find being open-minded and practicing paganism, even though I'm raised Catholic, allows me to be open-minded. The Catholicism really helps in the sense that it ties in together all the pagan and all the other religions, because really, if you think about it, it all connects. You know, I mean, they pretty much have the same set of rules. I'm really fascinated with the fact that you know, so many things are like, for instance, have you heard of Marie Laveau? She was a Catholic witch, but she's also known as a voodoo priestess. Okay, she used Catholic Roman candles as the saints, as different goddess and goddesses for her magic, you know, that she practiced. And no one really truly knew that she was a witch until she exposed herself, you know. So it's things like that that, you know, intrigue me, because it actually goes hand in hand. I really like to encourage. I know I get excited, but I really like to encourage people to, you know, think outside the box. You know, it's great that you're raised with what your family believes, and everybody, you know, should believe that, you know. But it's also nice to think outside the box, because it helps you understand what other people are trying to accomplish, or trying to their mindset, for instance, why they think the way they think, you know.
Well, there's a bunch of how many religions are there out there? How many gods are there? Does anybody have any
You
idea?
know, I don't know. And you know, I mean, it's just one of those things. I mean, you have Greek goddesses, you have Roman goddesses, you have, you know, Christianity, you have you know, basically polytheistic and monotheistic, you know. I mean, there's so many, but it all
There's
really
so many.
ties
That's why,
together.
like, when people say, even an atheist, let's just say an atheist, for example, says, you know what, I don't believe in God or a God. And then somebody that's you know, let's just say a Catholic says, oh my God, how dare you, you know, how could you be an atheist? And then, you know, I'm stealing this from a comedian who said that then he said to the guy, he goes, well, you know how many gods there are, right? There's like thousands of them.
Right.
I only believe in one God less than you do, because you don't believe in all those other ones. You only believe in yours. And I'm an atheist, and I'm just one step away from you. I only believe in one less than you, which I'm not saying right, wrong, or the other, but it's true. You know,
Right.
there's so
Right.
many. You can't
Well,
write
I
anything
mean,
off.
I find, for me, I'm not speaking on you guys or anybody else. I find, for me, as a funeral director of 14 years, it's allowed me to be more personal with the family. You know, I do take my work home with me. I manage a funeral home. It's my life. It's something I've always wanted to do. I love Halloween. I love learning about all sorts of different religions, and even Satanism. You know, why do they think the way they do? I hate to bring that up, or atheism, or whatever the case may be. I've done so many services. You know, like I said, I've been a funeral director and embalmer for 14 years. I'm dual licensed. I've been honored to be a part of so many different aspects of religion that I didn't even know existed. And I feel honored that I can be a public servant and serve these people in the capacity that maybe an older funeral director might not want to serve them. I find me being, 37, I've been licensed for 14 years. I got licensed when I was about 24, 25. I've really devoted my whole life to, I hate to say it, death. I love everything about death. I can talk about it for hours. I came in here with the tent to put it in a nutshell, but I would love to answer any questions you guys have. I have notes. I have everything, and going back to the atheism thing, I've done a service. What we did was a candlelight visual. Everybody came in, they lit a candle. The family lit the last candle. It was a big candle, and it was what we call a non-denominational service. And my specialty is ship outs, non-denominational services. I can do any service, but I find that the living in the South, the cases that the older funeral directors don't want to deal with, I have a knack for making them feel at peace, knowing that their loved one, even though has passed, they have that closure.
That's awesome. Ben, I want to ask you something. Do you ever have any contact with any of your local funeral people, or have you ever wanted to ask somebody that does what she does anything? You guys are kind of closely tied together somehow, because I made the joke
that, but in the South, so here's a little thing. In the South, I don't know how it is where you guys are, but it's a little segregated. I am Italian, Puerto Rican, Irish, and French. So when people look at me in Georgia, I was born and raised in Georgia, they're like, we don't know what you are. So I've worked at white funeral homes, black funeral homes, and I'm currently working at a really awesome Spanish funeral home. I really feel at home there. But with the whole point of me saying that is I've worked with so many people. In the South, there's a certain way of doing things, like up north, you have funeral potatoes. Even down south, you have funeral potatoes or repasts or whatever the case may be. You go eat afterwards, after the burial. I feel like, I don't know. I feel really versatile. I'm not going to say I'm the greatest funeral director or embalmer ever, but I definitely try to connect with my families, and anybody who knows me knows, given the situation, that family comes out with a smile on their face. Like, I'm glad we met.
That's important. Yeah. I've been to funerals where the person there just they don't have a good bedside
Yeah, it's
manner
like
or whatever.
the Big Lebowski, like, this is our most moderately priced receptacle. Like,
Exactly.
I'm not like that. I'll cut up with you if I can feel you out. I joke, and it's like signing away your life when you do a funeral. But I feel that the funeral home I'm working for, Miss Dollar and her son, 14 years of working for corporations and mom and pop funeral homes. It's kind of good to have this funeral home that I'm with. They actually, they really, they're teaching me. I thought I had a lot of experience, but I got a lot of experience with little old white people. I hate to say it like that. I'm getting experience with like real cases, like people that have been dead for months, and I have to literally like be a magician, even though I'm a mortician, and I love it. And I find myself learning so much. That's my
That's so cool.
I'm done. What else do you want to know about Halloween?
I wanted to ask Ben something. Do you have any contact with your local funerals, and do you think that those places would have a lot of activity?
I skipped over that on purpose. See, because I have a vagina and I'm a Latino, the white people kind of like dislike me. I'm like I said, I'm not the greatest embalmer or the best funeral director, but I've been doing it for 14 years. I do get requested, and I've served over 5,000 families. I've worked at 9,000 call volume funeral homes. I've managed 4 funeral homes, and 2 of them in 2 different states. I have a lot of haters.
That's an impressive
it's a predominantly
resume.
male industry.
Yes,
and they don't like it when a woman comes in and kind of does
I'm
it
sure.
the way I do it.
Yeah,
I get it done. You can get the same result. I'm not talking smack on my colleagues, but
go ahead, talk smack. Go ahead.
Smart, not hard.
So Ben, do you think that there would be a lot of activity at a funeral home?
Oh, there's always activity at a funeral home. There ain't never anything.
No, I'm asking him like on the he does ghost investigations, so I'm wondering if he has any experience in that.
I'm sorry. Repeat that.
I was
I'm
asking
to you so you can.
Yeah, Ben, who's right next to me over here, he does investigations on
So you're
paranormal
a
activity.
forensic investigator. Is that what I'm understanding?
I am a paranormal investigator.
Oh, you're a paranormal. I have a forensics degree. That's why I was asking. No, paranormal. Like that's awesome. Have you ever done anything in Oakland Cemetery?
No, it's a little too far for me.
Oh.
He's in Utah. He's out in Utah.
Oh, you're in Utah. Oh my
Yeah.
God. Yeah, that's where like a lot of people die. Okay, yeah, I understand. I'm just being sarcastic.
Well, we did have there was some dead people news. So, do you think, Ben, that would be a place with a lot of activity if you were to go to one, or?
I think it just depends, but depending on probably the funeral home and the amount of respect that they show people, I would say yes. But
yeah, it's kind of like that gateway, right? Like they're going somewhere after that, right?
Well, in Georgia, there is a law on the books. It's reverence for the dead. You cannot mutilate or show any disrespect for the dead. Like I dress up in a suit. I embalm in heels in a suit. That's out of respect for your loved one. I'm a public servant, and it's an honor that your family chose me to entrust them with me so I can take care of them in the way you need me to. As stupid as that sounds, it's something I've always wanted to do. When I was 13, I had a really bad experience with my grandmother dying, and I swore that I would never have a family feel that experience. Now, I've been licensed 14 years. Georgia has my statistics. It's like 5,000 families I've served, from beginning to end. I'm not Burger King. Not everybody's going to get it their way, but I do try. I don't make everybody happy, but my good to bad ratio, my good is high, bad is very low, Yeah, I'm going to be real with you, but I do give 110%. And paranormal investigation, I think you should come to Georgia. There is some really good activity here.
Have you ever sorry, go ahead, Ben.
I was going to say, I believe it, especially around the South. There's lots of awesome places to go over there.
Oh, yeah. You have Kennesaw Battle Park. You have the Tilly House. You have Savannah all alone. Savannah, like, you can't. You know what? When you go to Savannah and you stay in a hotel, true story, they make you sign a waiver. If you see a ghost, you don't get your money back. Like, I'm serious. Like, if you
Ben would
see
pay
anything
extra for
weird
that.
and you leave
He's
in the middle of the night,
Yeah.
like, it doesn't matter. You're paying for that
Take
room.
my money.
Yeah, like they make you sign it. Like, they're like, no, man, you paid for the room. Like, I know, because my family has a gun business, and when we would do gun shows in Savannah, we would have to sign that agreement. But I also went to school in Statesboro for funeral and forensics, and they did the ghost tours with the pubs and the hearses, and they always said, I mean, they're always digging up bones, you know. And I wish I could show you the pictures, but I took a picture in the square, and there's orbs. You're talking about, you're a paranormal investigator. There's orbs like everywhere. I wasn't even smoking a cigarette. There was no lights. Like, it wasn't the flash. It was orbs. It was orbs. Yeah, it was orbs. So
do
yeah.
you know your
Okay.
local funeral director, Ben, in your town? I know
I'm
you
sorry,
live
what
in
was
Yeah,
that?
I
No,
actually.
I'm asking Ben if he knows the local. He lives kind of in a smaller town. If he knows the local funeral director in his town.
Oh, you should.
Yeah, I do.
Yeah.
I know him by name,
And go
and
ahead
I
and
deal
get you
with
a
him at
cemetery
work.
plot too, unless you plan to be cremated. Go ahead and get that plot. You can split it up to 3. That's my advice to you.
You can never plan too early. You never know.
I
It is a
know.
burden.
I'm so morbid. I plan on being cremated. I want one plot. I want my husband, my daughter, and me all in one plot. And you can do that. You can legally do that.
That is great. I would
One
love that.
plot can be split up into 3 sections. It can hold 3 sets of cremated remains.
Oh, okay, you're talking cremated now. Okay.
Yeah,
Gotcha.
yeah. Now, if they want to ball out, I want a black casket, silver trim, and black dress. I want some, I want my hair curled. Yeah, I want to look like the goddess of death.
Hell yeah. Ben, do they do cremations in your religion? If you don't mind me asking, I know some
Oh
religions
yes,
will not.
yes. I mean, they do
Yeah,
cremation.
it just
As a
depends
matter of
on the
fact,
person
it is,
and what they want.
it's not even about religion. It's about budget. Like, it is more economically and feasibly possible to do a cremation than it is to burial, because you have to have the casket, the embalming, the opening and closing of the grave, the vault, and the casket. Not to mention the dressing and the embalming. Now, with cremation, you just send them to the royal blue flame and divide it up in 3 spots and pay the opening and closing, and you're done.
Mm-hmm.
And I hate to put it like that, but we're on, a podcast, so whatever.
That's the way it is. It is.
I mean, I'd rather let you know what it is. And a lot of families, like, they either like me or hate me, but it's like, hey, if you're in a budget, like, I can totally work with that, just let me know what the budget is so I can, like, make stuff happen. I can't get you an autographed Bible from Jesus, but I can make stuff happen.
Right.
I
Absolutely.
might be able to move a mountain.
All right, so back to Halloween. What else? What else can we talk about?
So
Halloween.
I just want to let everybody know. We all know that I touched on the history of the jack-o'-lantern comes from Europe. They used turnips, and then eventually, when it came to America, it was jack-o'-lanterns. But I personally wanted to touch on some music. I picked 5 songs that I thought were the coolest. You guys can disagree or agree, whatever. You're human. It's your right.
Why don't we do this? Hold on. Let's do this. Let's go around the room, and everybody will give one song. We can go around a few times. You can go first. Give us one song that you like, Halloween, and then I'll give one. Ben can give one. Tank can give one. We'll go around a couple times.
All right, Dead Man's Party, Oingo Boingo.
Oh yeah.
All right,
I'm next. this might be a little bit lame, but like, well, I judge a lot of music by how kids react to them, and like if kids like the music, I kind of know that it's good because they don't have any, they don't know who the artists are usually, or whatever.
Right.
Whenever I hear that Ghostbusters theme, like
Oh,
it
shit.
may not be
Oh,
necessarily
yeah, I
a
had that on there,
Halloween
too.
song, but I really like it, and the
Yeah,
kids love it.
dude. When I was an apprentice, we would play that in the hearse.
Oh yeah.
we were the Ghostbusters. That's why I call myself the Bioexorcist.
Well, Ben, he's not a Ghostbuster, but he's a ghost guy. What's one of your favorite like Halloween type songs?
The first one that pops into my head probably is one of my favorites, but I like "This Is Halloween," but the Marilyn Manson version.
Oh yes, I
It's
had
always
that
been
on
one of my favorites.
CD. Yeah, I'm with you, buddy. Hell yeah.
How about you, Tank? You got one?
Yeah, I like This Is Halloween, but the Nightmare Before Christmas version.
Oh,
This
hell
is
yes!
Halloween.
Oh my
This is
God.
Halloween. In
That's
this
on there
town,
too.
we call home. That's a good one, dude.
So,
And that's actually like the only one I know too, because I wasn't big on Halloween.
you don't want me to sing it. I know the whole song. Like you really don't. But what I found out on the internet and talking to other funeral directors, they really like Monster Mash.
Oh
And then,
yeah.
I don't know if you guys ever heard of Jazzy Jeff and Fresh Prince, but
Oh
they
yeah.
have a Nightmare on My Street. That's actually a pretty cool song. And oh wait, you all know this. Don't Fear the Reaper by the Blue Oyster Cult. Come on. And then of course What We Do in the Shadows. That's like the newest trending. They're like in season 3. They're awesome. Geek Music does great music.
I like that Stranger Things theme song. It's pretty good.
That's a good one. That's a good one.
Yeah.
Now, I did want to touch on, a lot of people don't know this. There are different colored pumpkins and lights. So it's nice to know if you're a parent, like, especially if your child has seizures, autism, or, some sort of mental disorder that, other people need to be made aware of, and you're like constantly freaking out. Because I know as a mom, I'm like, well, my child, I'm blessed, she doesn't have allergies, but I do know her friends do. So I did want to touch on certain things. So real quickly, this 2021 purple pumpkins are a new thing. They raise awareness for those who have epilepsy and seizures. So no bright lights, no strobe lights, things like that. Teal pumpkins or green pumpkins mean that these kids have allergies to peanuts or some sort of food allergy.
Is this the pumpkin they're carrying to get candy?
Exactly.
I think so, yeah.
Oh, okay.
They actually use the lights on the porch light. So when you look at the house, you can say, okay, that has a bluish teal light. So, my kid can go there and I don't have to worry about them having an allergy, attack and using an EpiPen or something, things like that. Also, I also wanted to let people know that blue pumpkins support kids with autism. This is my personal opinion. I don't give a shit if you're 37, 57, 5, 1, 8, whatever.
2,
If
3,
a
4,
child
5.
doesn't say trick or treat and they're holding a blue pumpkin, I don't care what pumpkin they're holding. If they don't say trick or treat, give them the damn candy. They're there. But the blue pumpkins mean they have autism, and we all know kids with autism have trouble interacting with people, and they might come off as maybe aggressive or shy, or they just don't speak.
Mm-hmm.
They don't have. Halloween is not a holiday for a child or human or whoever to beg for a treat. You know, Halloween is set up for you to give out free treats. I don't care what you're dressed as. Like,
Right.
you know, if you're coming and you show up at my door, you get some candy. If you're an adult, you might get a beer. You know, like,
Oh, yeah.
but you know, all I'm saying is like, you know, don't make the kids beg for treats for like a 2-inch Snickers bar.
Yeah,
you know,
well, they're
like
not
just give it
dogs.
to them. You know,
Anybody have any more songs, by the way? Any other songs? Anybody?
Purple People Eater.
The
Purple People Eater.
That's a good one. The Michael Jackson song. I always think about that.
Oh yeah,
one.
Thriller.
Yeah.
Yeah. Actually, I had a song. I mean, y'all pretty much touched on a lot of stuff.
Well, you too. You
Little Red
touched on a
Riding
lot.
Hood. That's a nice song. That's a very scary song. It's nice old feel to it.
Hell
And
yeah.
then of course,
I like
Devil Went Down in Georgia.
Psychosocial from Slipknot.
Oh,
I'm not
hell
familiar with that.
Yes.
Oh yeah, yeah, definitely.
You guys are
Enter
way more
Sandman,
rockers
Metallica.
than me.
Come on. Now, I did want to mention to everybody, there is a book out called The 13 Days of Halloween. And if you look it up, there's a song. And it's kind of like the Christmas song. But it's like, you know, on the first day of Christmas, my true love gave to me a vulture in a dead tree. Like, you know, something like that, you know? So it's really cool. If you have a significant other or somebody, you know, you want to, you know, play with and like, you know, have Halloween fun with, that's something to do. I did want to touch on this just because the 31st is the Halloween. That's not Dios de los Muertos. That's on the first and third. That's not a Mexican Halloween. That's a celebration. You know, they celebrate with skulls. It's a very symbolic and meaningful celebration. They you know, use you know, flowers. They use incense. They set up altars with food. You know, altars can be with offerings. Like, say me, I set up my altering for my grandparents. My grandmother liked tea. My grandfather liked whiskey. So I set, you know, that out, and he liked cigarettes.
Cheers.
So I set that out, and I set that out with my skulls. And they have sugar skulls.
If anybody wants to set out whiskey for me while I'm alive, I will take that too.
Oh,
Just
totally,
putting that
dude.
out
You
there.
know, like, yeah, set out some whiskey for me, dude. Now
What are you drinking, Bianca?
Yeah, you never did tell us what's
What are
in
you
that
drinking?
Oh, what am I drinking? Well, last time I did your show, I got a little like too wasted, so I'm drinking a mixer, Jack Daniels,
cup. Okay.
Downhill Punch. Yeah.
So you're not wasted
I
right
took
now.
my medication, so I'm good.
How about Ben? You want to kick it off with any movies you may like, Halloween themed movies, and we'll go around one
Oh
time.
yeah, definitely.
Ben,
The
go ahead.
Exorcist, my favorite.
Oh my God!
Oh, that's a classic.
Oh my God! Hey, you know what?
That's Randy's scariest movie he's ever seen.
Real quick, I gotta plug this now. Give me a second here, guys. All right, Man of Action Figure sponsor the show. I do have a Reagan doll here. That's pretty freaky.
Oh, that's
awesome. Pretty awesome.
Yeah, I don't know if you want to sleep with that in your room, but you can get that at manofactionfigures.com. What else do I got? A couple other things here I want to show you guys. That's the Bride of Chucky there. Same style figure from Mezco. We have that. This is another one from them. This is Hellraiser. So I just busted out a few of the Halloween items we have in stock at manofactionfigures.com. Most of these are from Mezco. We got some Living Dead dolls here. That's Freddy Krueger right there.
This is Samantha, and she is my Day of the Dead doll. I have many, but
that's cool.
That's Samantha.
This is Beetlejuice.
Oh yeah. I got a Beetlejuice shirt from Goodwill. Like, it was awesome.
Beetlejuice.
Yeah.
Beetlejuice.
With the
I
word.
don't know if you can see this one.
Michael.
This is quarter scale Michael Myers from Halloween, and I think that's it. All the items from the sponsor, manofactionfigures.com. The Exorcist is just, dude. There was so many accidents on the set of that movie too, which is kind of interesting if you read about it. There was a lot of
they talk about it.
Yeah.
Like full blown being cursed on set.
Yeah.
People that still have back problems and everything else.
We're not amused.
Alec Baldwin is cursed.
Oh my God, that's so terrible, dude.
Everything's cursed. Have you ever spent the night in a funeral home?
Yes. Well, just we do the
on a daily basis.
No. We do the
14 years.
Yeah, for 14 years. I used to lay in the caskets and be like, "Ooh, I like this one."
Oh my God.
I don't know about all that.
Oh man, dude, that's what I call. I told my daughter that's a forever box. Like, I want this one. Black casket, silver trim.
That's nice. You got any movies? Any Halloween movies you're into? I know you're into the whole scary movie situation.
I like Nightmare Before Christmas.
I kind of pushed out on that, but like I gotta say, Insidious is pretty messed up.
Good one, Tank.
I've been trying to catch up with American Horror Story. I'm not really feeling the season.
I haven't caught up with that one.
Yeah, I've seen every season, but I'm not really feeling it. I like vampires and aliens, but not together.
I like Cowboys and Aliens. Anybody ever saw that movie?
Nah, but I saw Killer Clowns from Outer Space.
That's a good one.
Yeah.
All right, guys, let's wrap up the Halloween portion. Anything else we want to talk about Halloween before we move on?
I would just like to say, if you're ever in Roswell, Savannah, or Kennesaw,
not Roswell, Arizona,
or Atlanta,
is Roswell in Georgia?
Yeah.
Okay, because we have
in Georgia.
We have this guy who was in Roswell.
Definitely check out
Arizona
the places. In Kennesaw, they say at dusk you can hear the roll call of the Civil War soldiers at Oakland Cemetery. The first black mayor, Margaret Mitchell, who wrote Gone with the Wind, and a lot of famous people are buried there. Even the first hooker. So that's very interesting.
Who was the first hooker?
They haven't given her a name, but it's there. Go see it. And they do scavenger hunts throughout the cemetery.
Yeah.
I'm gonna make you Google stuff like homework, y'all. Surrey.
Hell yeah. Ben, have you ever thought about that?
Savannah, please. I know you guys drink, so take the pub tour and go see Van Gogh's Ear Pizza. Or I think it's called Michelangelo or Van Gogh's Pizza, but they give
Johnny
it's
Pizza.
like mellow mushroom. It's wonderful, and then Beautiful. They drive you around in a hearse, and you get to go to every bar and have a drink.
That's awesome. I'm down for that.
And they give a ghost story like, "Ooh, this bar is haunted because blah blah blah." So,
well, I think Ben would like that. Ben would enjoy that probably.
Yeah, I think he really gets into the blah blah blahs.
It's $25. It's worth 2 hours, and you get red Solo cups. What more could you ask for?
Hell yeah. Well, Bianca, I want to thank you for coming on tonight with us and schooling us on the Halloween facts a little bit. And I'm glad you finally made it on. Thank you so much for coming on.
Yeah, I know. It was like an act of Congress.
Yeah, we got it in, though.
Yeah, I know, right?
Yeah. All right, Bianca, thank you so much. Appreciate you joining us tonight. You have a good night. Thank you so much.
You too.
We'll be back in touch.
Thanks for having me.
Thank you.
All right, bye.
Bye.
All right, that was Bianca. She's a funeral director in the Georgia area. Morticia Mortician, schooling us on the facts. Ben, I wanted to ask you. You got a couple minutes more, or you got to go?
No, I can probably spare 15 or so more minutes.
Okay, cool. Thank you. I wanted to ask you that specifically that she was mentioning, because I did have a guy on here one day who he's a park ranger, and but he'll also, as a hobby, he liked to study and go to sites where like there was Civil War battles were fought and things like that. Have you ever thought that would be a cool place for you to go to do what you do?
Oh yeah, like I've always wanted to go to Gettysburg. They have pictures of like half apparitions, like chest up, pictures of people standing by cannons. We have the Mountain Meadows Massacre that's not too far from where I live that I've always wanted to go to too for the same reason.
Can you tell us about that? I'm not familiar with that one.
The Mountain Meadows Massacre?
Yeah. Maybe we talked about it before.
Yeah,
I
I
don't
think
know.
he talked to us about it. It was
I
like
think
about
you
they
did.
killed a bunch of natives. Or no?
So it started, and don't quote me because I haven't read the history for a little while. I think last time I talked to you,
we're not
right after I
quoting
finished
anybody
reading
on this
history about
episode.
it.
100%. Don't worry about it. Nobody's getting quoted tonight.
So it was.
By the way, you know what? I'm taking off my outfit here. It's hot. Sorry. Go ahead, Ben.
It's toasty. Yeah. Hope you're good. So, from what I remember, there was natives in this one area, and like
Check
a
out my
wagon
shirt,
train
dude.
that was going a different direction. Oh yes! Hello there. I think I made that.
Yeah, you did. Thank you, bro.
I got a big ass bag of them full over here. If anyone wants another one.
If anybody wants to buy a shirt, dude, let Ben know. This is a Central Utah Paranormal shirt. Anyway, sorry. Go ahead, bro.
But I'm trying to remember. There was like a shot fired, and it was a miscommunication, and they ended up. The wrong people were killed. The innocent people were killed, and the bad guys are the ones that got away. But I can't remember the amount of people that actually died there. But apparently there's, like, you can just hear, like, the moans and sadness of women and children, and it's just very heavy. Like, if you've ever just been somewhere that's just so gross, it just makes you feel so sick, or you've experienced something that just terrified you so much, and you just feel that knot and that heaviness in your stomach. If does that make sense?
Oh, 100%. Like, I was thinking right now, like, what's the worst place I've ever been in? And yeah, I know what you're talking about.
And that's 100%. Usually, like, you see good and bad. Like I always tell people when we do our investigations, it's like 2 out of 10, like nasty, and 8 out of 10 is just like a loved one trying to communicate with someone in the home.
And Ben, I meant to ask you this earlier. You were, I thought it was super cool. I saw you were featured in like the local paper recently.
Oh, I have it. I have it right here.
One second.
Why don't you show us?
Put my headphones back in. So, yeah, I got interviewed a couple weeks ago, and it was, as far as I knew, it was just going to be a small little article. Oh, not that one.
Oh, wow,
I was not
you were charged in a deer hunt?
Let's go for this one. I'm trying to figure out my camera here. Let's go to this side. That's better.
Yeah. By the way,
but yeah, we got a full page.
I have Ben's link in the description to his YouTube, social media. Check it out, and you can get a good look at that article also on there, I think, which is where I saw it.
Oh, thank you. But yeah,
and where I thought it was
I didn't
cool
know we were going to be on the front page.
I know, that's fucking awesome, dude. That's awesome. I like that they also mentioned that you guys were kind of more like inviting to any entities or whatever, as opposed to being afraid of them or trying to, your thing is more like trying to communicate, see what's going on, and try to help, right? That's kind of like your strategy.
Yeah. Yeah. Because a lot of people will go in and just have that intimidating presence, go in and be like, you do this, do what I say, do that. That is the worst thing that you can do, because especially if it's just something that's trying to communicate something to a family member, is now it's not going to want to talk to you. So your purpose is gone. And if
I wouldn't be good at
agitated,
it, dude.
it's going to make it even worse for that family.
Yeah.
It's
I would be like, spirits be
gone.
gone. And then
anytime. I mean, it's fun.
I would love to go. I would love to go on one.
And sometimes there are those ones. There's some that get pretty crazy, but most of the time it's a good time.
Do you usually
there's
get
that 2%?
You usually get scared on these things? Always? Every time? Or is it sometimes
usually the people that I have, when I have people with me, they're usually the ones freaking out, and I'm over there like, yes, and they're the opposite. Because once the stuff starts happening, like, you're asking it to happen. So when it happens, you can't be like, why did you do that? Because you're asking, you're inviting that.
Is it true? Is it true that you should be more afraid of the living than the dead?
Yes. Yeah, I would agree with that 100%. In my paranormal investigations and in my own career, I'm definitely more worried about the living.
100%. Why is it that we're so afraid of that? What do you think that is? As in general, right? Like in general, people are just so afraid of that.
I think it also comes down to religion, beliefs, and the unknown. Not knowing, I think, is what scares most people, or not understanding.
Which is most things in life too, even if we're not talking about this subject. Most people, when they don't know about something, they're scared. Whether it be,
and that's
you take like, you take like an old timer and you try to make them shop on the internet. They're like, oh, I'm not putting my credit card number in there. It's like, we don't know about it. Yeah. 100%.
And I was wondering, since I finally figured out how to get this to work, if you wanted to see some electronic voice phenomena that we've captured in some homes over the last year.
Absolutely. Let's do it.
It's not very long. So it's only about 2 minutes probably, but now that I can actually get the audio to work. So let's see here.
You good, Tank? Dude, I don't know if it was a bunch
of...
No, dude, I don't know if it was a bunch of gunshots outside my house.
What? I heard...
I don't know if it was a car. I don't know if it was a car starting up or what.
It could be a misfiring car or somebody firing. We don't know.
It was a lot, dude. It was a lot rapid fire.
I hear that often down here. Okay, Ben, I see something that popped up on my screen here. Let me see if I can add it.
Okay. Okay, let me start this from the beginning again here. Okay, let me know if you can hear it okay.
All right. We got audio.
Yes. Are you in the living room right now? Living room right now? Living room right now? I want green.
So there's a box right here with these little spiky things. Can you come and touch it? If you come and touch it, We can see you. Just like that. Wonderful. Thank you.
We'd like to communicate with anybody who'd like to. Still. We're coming in peace.
It's my boy Randy. Just thinking about it.
Isn't here for a long time.
And that one, if you didn't catch it, says F you, Ben, not just my name.
Oh, I didn't catch that. Can you run that back real quick? That little part?
Yeah.
So this guy was
It's
not
kind
happy
of
to see you.
quiet, but yeah, this was the angry one that was throwing that gal's food and everything all over the place at her house.
Oh, okay.
Here for a long time.
Did you hear it that
Does
time?
he say it twice? Does he say it twice?
No, I think that's him.
Yes.
Replaying the
So
sound.
I play it like 3 times.
Okay. I did hear it. Yes.
Yeah. So that one was one of our worst ones.
Is there anybody down here with us right now? Can you say something into the recorder for us? October. Is October the month you were born? Can you tell me the owner's name?
Can you go over my book contraption over there? Can you go by that stool? And touch that thing that has all those little pegs sticking up. Awesome. Thank you so much. Awesome. Thank you so much.
So another backstory on that one. I'll go ahead and give you back my screen there.
Stephanie's like the public relations with
most
ghosts,
of those,
right?
They love her. They like Randy too. Like I get more of the angry. I don't know why, but I do. And yeah, I get a lot of, and I think it's because when it is something bad, they know I'm there to get rid of them, because that's what we did with that particular house. But on that recorder also, Stephanie is talking to the one we were in the cellar of this home, was where we found a lot of the activity was coming from, and it led right to where her fridge was, where the food was getting thrown out. And on her recorder, right next to her, you hear, "Shut up, choke that bitch."
Oh my God.
And like it, that one was definitely our worst one that we've ever dealt with, but
I've definitely felt like saying that at certain times in my life.
Right? Stop talking to me. There was another one that said, like, "You're yapping," or "Stop yapping," when we were trying to ask questions. But those are just the ones we've gotten in the last year, and we've been doing it. Well, I've been doing it for about 5 years, and we've been doing it officially as a team for a little over 2.
And the team is Randy, you, and Stephanie, right?
And we have a new girl that just started with us. Her name is Kayla.
Okay.
She actually had her first investigation with us in August, and we had some pretty crazy stuff happen. I felt kind of bad for her. I was like, sorry for your first one.
They're not all like
really
this.
kind of freaked you out.
One of those recordings said a name similar to hers, right?
Carly's.
So that was the homeowner's name, and I won't say her last name, and that's why it only says Carly, but it says her last name in that recording too, like first and last. That was one of the craziest ones we've ever done.
Ben, I've probably asked you this before, but I'll ask again. These, is it fair to call them entities? What do you call them?
I would call them, so there's spirits and there's inhuman spirits. It gets kind of into more religious thinking, but if you go to Revelations in the Bible, for example, just one example, there's a lot. It's believed that there were certain angels in heaven that were kicked out. It was a third of the host of heaven left with the devil. It talks about it in Revelations.
Yeah.
And those are spirits that weren't able to come to earth and receive a body or a vessel. And so that's where you get your spirits, and your inhuman spirits are the ones that were never able to have a body of their own. And those are the ones that cause your possessions and your really dark, scary stuff and moving things and throwing things. From my experience, that's what I've run into. And that's
And
the
what do you-
way I can explain it the best.
And what do you call a person that passed but is stuck for whatever
Lost
reason?
soul.
Yeah, a lost soul or a spirit. And sometimes it's they just actually you'll run into some that don't even know they're dead. They're like, and you can ask, like, do you know you're dead? And sometimes you'll get a no. And that's when you start talking about like the light and can you see this light? And you'll get responses. Actually, when we were at the Biltmore this last weekend, we believe we were able to help 2 spirits move on. If that's not too deep for me to talk about on here.
No, that's exactly what I wanted to talk about. That's exactly what I want to talk about.
Okay.
These people, if or whatever that you want to call them, in this state, where are you just getting them to the next place? And what is that next place?
That's our ultimate goal, I guess you could say. And that's what we've seen. Like as you encourage that and as you describe that, then all of a sudden the activity that was happening in that home is gone, as if it, really does move on to another area. When you go into different religions, some believe that the spirit world is actually all around us. And when we die, we're still here on earth. And there's some that believe you do go to a separate like plane or a separate world, if you will. But there's so many different ways to explain it. So I really think that the ones that are here, both inhuman and human spirits, trying to bring back where I was going with this, but are here until they reach that point that they can move on. So when we were at this place last week, we were in an area with a newer investigator. He's kind of learning how to do stuff. And he was kind of beating a dead horse. Like he was using a method that worked for a few minutes and then it just stopped. But he persisted to do it for like 20 more minutes. And I was like, we're not getting anything. I'm going to go down here. And so I took one of the other female investigators with me. And I was like, I'm getting something down here. And there's something.
Hey,
there's something
careful, Ben. Careful. You're going into dangerous territory here.
Yeah.
I'm just kidding.
And anyways, that tour ended and the hostess came over to me and she was like, I saw you somewhere else. And like, what was your thought process there? Like, why did you break away from the group? And I was like, well, there wasn't anything where we were. I know that. And I know there was something over here. And she was like, okay, go with that. So my very last tour, we went and we took our group with us. And I got teamed up with the guy that liked to do the same things over and over again. And so our group was really big. And so I split our group in half and I was like, okay, you guys go upstairs with him. We're going to focus down here for 20 minutes and then we're going to swap. And he was like, oh yeah, that's a great idea. And so go in my area. We find out it's a woman, found out her name. And so we start talking to her by name, and she was hiding in the corner of this really just dark area, like a place where you would go to hide from people. And it wasn't a bad feeling. It was like just a sadness. And so I asked her, I was using my dowsing rods to get some yes and no questions. I asked her, I was like, are you in the corner of the room? Yes. And I asked her if she could point to where she was using my dowsing rods. And you just watched them as they went to the corner. I was like, okay, that's kind of where I was feeling, like where she was. And we proceeded to ask her, like, are you scared? Do you know you're deceased? And she was scared. She knew she was deceased, but she was afraid to move on. And we asked her, like, can we show you? Can we talk to you about that? And we got more yes responses. And I asked her if she could see a light, which is generally, I don't know why that is, but there is some form of light that the deceased can see. It's just a matter of them recognizing that that's what it is. And so I said, okay, can you point to where you can see this light? And instantly my rods started moving over, and they moved over by this woman that was with us in our group. And she just became super emotional. This woman, she just started crying, and she was like, oh my gosh, like I feel her sadness. And I was like, okay, like, can you move towards the light? And she said, yes. And I said, okay, will you allow my rods to follow you until you leave our presence? And they started over in the corner, and then you watched as they slowly moved until they came to this lady, and she was just overwhelmed with emotions and felt this presence walk through her, and then it was gone. All of a sudden it felt warm and good in this area that once felt sad. And we did the same thing. So we went upstairs, and we still felt this nasty just sadness. And the same thing happened up there. We told, so we swapped, and those guys came downstairs, and we went upstairs, and we found there was another one hiding in a corner. Came to find out that he had committed suicide, and he had hung himself in the rafters. And some of the other investigators that had been there last night got voices in the rafters of someone asking Ben for help. So that was kind of crazy.
Holy shit.
But so, yeah. So anyways, we locate where the spirit is and talk to it about, like, because a lot of people think, oh, if you commit suicide, you're going to hell or whatever. That's not a belief that I have. You know, there's mental health problems. There's people that really end up in the worst places at the worst times of their lives, and they might make a mistake and end up doing that. That doesn't mean you're going to be damned to some everlasting fire. You know, that just sounds idiotic to me.
And I think we have to say at this
on anybody.
Yeah, but I think we have to say at this point, like, that's never the answer, you know. There's always going to be somebody that can help you. Nothing is ever that bad, you know, like, you know, it's so
There's
sad.
Help.
Yeah. Anyways, go ahead.
And so we talk to him and, like, encourage him and do the same thing. And we obtained those answers differently than just using dowsing rods. I won't go into that because it'd take a really long time to explain. But we did the same thing. I was like, okay, can you see a light? And yes. And where is it? And I had him point to it and use the rods to follow him as he left. And everyone that was with us was just like crying by the end of our tour. And here's all these people that paid for different groups to come and get scared because they believe that that's all we do. We just invoke this anger and this activity. And it was nice to be able to show this group of people that that's not what it's about. This is what we're about. And they were able to distinguish us from the other teams there at the end of our tour because they were able to see that we weren't there for theatrics. We weren't doing jump scares. We weren't yelling and screaming. We were very calm. We were polite. And to be able to show that to this group of like 12 people was really good because they left with a different view of what you should be doing, in my opinion.
That must have been real satisfying.
So Ben, at this place, like they let you go investigate, but you were also having people there with you.
Like regular
Yes.
Joes just there.
So there was a VIP option for people staying in the hotel. You could come for the weekend, get a hotel room, and have full access to all of the investigators there. And we also had like Q&As and some like how-to booths. I had my merch booth there. That's why I've got like 30 shirts I still have to sell to make some money back.
The links are down low. Come on, let's support Ben, guys. Get some shirts.
But that
Ben, I wanted to ask you this. So two on the lower floor and the upper floor, people that you helped. This may be hard to answer. You, of course, who knows, right? Nobody knows. But where do you think those people went to when they left from where they were? And how long do you think they were there?
The girl didn't tell us how long she had been there. I remember we got to like over 3 decades, but that was as far as we'd gotten. So a little longer probably than my lifetime, because I'm 32. And the guy upstairs, we never got a specific date or time from him. And I think that was because we changed gears. So we used a different form of communication to get questions answered faster and to help him in the time we had, because we only had like 20 minutes left in that particular area. So we wanted to get as much done as we could. But as far as where they go, I've heard a lot of stories about people that have those sudden, like they die for a few minutes, but they experience almost like hours in what appears to be some kind of a spirit world or heaven. And then when they return to their body, those are the things they remember.
Or hell, right? There could be like a temporary hell too, maybe. Mm-hmm. Is that possible?
And I think the hell for me, from what I believe, like I'm not telling anyone what to believe, that are the ones that are stuck here and trying to figure out how to move on. Because can you imagine? Purgatory. Yeah, and it's like, because how maddening would that be to want to go and not know how to, or not be able to? And maybe there are some unresolved issues that they want to take care of here before they move on, because that's another thing that we run into too. But
man, have you watched the movies within the Annabelle universe? So like The Conjuring.
Mm-hmm. I've read their actual like stories and like biographies.
Oh, nice. I would love to. So Conjuring 2, I think that one is about the in England with the old man.
In the chair.
Yeah, they end up putting I don't, they say it's based on a true story. I don't know if it's in the book. I don't know but they end up putting the pieces together where he's saying that the demon won't let him go. Like he won't let him move on.
Yeah. Because he was
that just came to me right now where you're saying.
Yeah, and the demon was using him as a vessel to invoke fear, and the demon was living and feeding off of the fear. That's what he ran into with Annabelle too.
Yeah. It was also a vessel.
Because
what was I gonna say? Oh, I thought it was weird that I guess a demon is more powerful than a spirit, but that it was able to take over something inhuman.
And that's where the inhuman spirit comes into play. And it's actually the Warrens are the best at describing that phenomenon. I just can't think of the best way to explain it, but they describe the human and the inhuman very well.
So Ben, what do you think happens when you die?
I think if you're ready, you go to the next level of your life, the next tier, I guess you could say. I believe we started in a tier somewhere else, like a premortal existence, if you want to say it that way. And we're in the second tier right now. I think next is number 3, and then we'll find out from there. But that's my personal thoughts and belief on that.
What do you think level 3 is?
I think level 3 is a legitimate paradise once you're just, and I get that based off of not just religion, but the stories that you've heard of that people that have died and they've gone to this place and they're greeted by loved ones, ancestors, people that knew them, people that they recognized. And I don't know, that's where I think the third tier would be, if you want to call it that.
How about these people who say, I'm not saying I'm one of them, but just throwing out some theories out there, that we are in a sort of purgatory type place right now, or some people may even say, well, you're in a great place right now. This is a great place right now. There's people who'll tell you both things. That we're in a place with a lot of suffering and a lot of pain, but on the same token, you could be in a place with a lot of joy and a lot of pleasure too. It's where we are right now, whatever that is. It's almost ambiguous sometimes in that sense, where like you could end up in either one of those scenarios.
Yeah, and I think that ultimately decides on not necessarily maybe how you've lived your life, but how you've ended. Like what part of your life had you gotten to when you passed away? And did you have something that you needed to finish? Was there something someone needed to know or hear from you before you could press forward? Like that's one of the questions I guess we're trying to find answers to.
Yeah, it would be nice to have somewhere where you could get all the answers, and we're never going to have that, but it'd be, sort of like get to the end of the book. You ever did that? You read the last couple pages without reading the whole thing. We always want to do that, right? We always want to know, but I think probably the most important thing is, the journey is important too. Don't focus so much on the end, but like, the whole story is interesting too.
You Randy, what do you think happened to us?
Man, I would love, reincarnation is another idea that a lot of people have too. I don't know how you guys feel about that. That one's interesting.
That's
to me
actually
too.
something that I've been thinking about a lot lately.
Yeah,
not necessarily into like something else, but maybe just being born again, like another human.
Yeah, or maybe you're another version of yourself, and then you're just gonna keep doing it until you get it right, so to speak. Or maybe, sometimes you meet people and you're like, wow, man, this dude really knows, or this girl, she seems like, or he seems like they've lived a lot of lives. You ever talk to people like that? You're like, wow, this person really seems to have it together. And maybe that's somebody who's like already done a bunch of these and they're already like almost ready to move on to something else. I think about that too sometimes. I don't know. How do you guys feel about reincarnation?
Well, like I said,
We can be honest about this. These are all ideas. Nobody knows anything.
Like I said, I've been thinking about it a lot lately. Like I grew up Christian, so like I have that theory of heaven, hell, and I don't know. I'm like whatever about it, And I honestly thought like what if what if this is it, or what if we just keep living and whatever, and then we're born in the not necessarily right after we die, or like, but we just keep going until whatever the hell happens,
Of course, the worst one is to think like that you die and that's it.
and just black.
But then again, if that were true, I always say, well, do you remember from before you were born?
Not me necessarily.
No, nobody does.
I mean, there's been cases we don't know how true they are.
Oh, previous people remembering previous lives and stuff like
Yeah,
that.
kids talking about things that they're not
Yeah,
supposed to know. Like,
or deja vu type of things. There's that too.
Mhm.
But if you think about it right now, if I ask you, hey man, do you remember
right?
from
No.
right, Ben? Do you remember from before you were born?
No.
No. And
And then
and sorry, go ahead.
I was gonna say, like, and there is that deja vu that sometimes makes you wonder, like, have I done this before? Have I seen this before? Like, there's still all those other factors that just kind of boggle my mind.
Yeah. They're mind bending scenarios when you get into those things. We've all had them. But then I also we're gonna get out there. It's late. We'll get out there real quick. We were talking about this the other night. I was hanging out with the guys from the podcast, Hialeah, Tank, and me, and then I said I do think a lot about parallel universes or alternate universes, and how maybe you make one decision differently and then that could alter the course of your life, and then maybe parallel to the one you're living right now, there's another version of you that's living a different life because of certain key points. We call them like watershed moments in your life. They could be, when you married a girl, when you moved to another town, when you took a job, when you almost died in a car accident, or like it's crazy to think, we're all here where we are right now in this specific moment, but there's probably a few important moments before that could lead you to be in a totally different place or not even here at all. And I think about that a lot. You guys ever think about that?
Yeah.
I always run through scenarios in my head. This the same way. It's so many different things that it could be that you just wish you knew what it was.
Yeah, for sure. So, and I know you're a religious guy, right, Ben?
Yeah.
Am I right? Okay. In your religion, is there I grew up Catholic. There's always heaven, hell. Is that sort of the same kind of beliefs? You pass, you either going to go here or there. Is that kind of how it goes?
There's a little bit more, I guess you could say.
Yeah, I know. I'm like
religion.
really. Yeah, I'm really putting it in a tiny nutshell. But yeah, go ahead.
Yeah, but yeah, it's basically we started here, we came here, we're gonna go here, and we can end up in different places over here depending on how we lived our life on Earth. Is the nutshell version.
Yes, we could go on long about that, but yeah, that's the nutshell. Is that the same for you, Tank? The way you were raised?
Yeah. Exactly.
That's got to be most religions, right?
Yeah, I would say
I
so.
think so.
Most follow that same formula, if you will.
Template.
Yeah. I don't know. I always, when I talk about this stuff, I'm like, try to be kind to people, try to treat them, it's just the cliches basically, but they apply, dude. That's probably like the best way, like my grandfather, he was I say a great man, but I mean, he didn't do anything super important in his life, or he was just a basic, farmer, But he was a good dude. He tried to help people, He never screwed anybody over, but he wasn't religious at all. He didn't. He wasn't church going or anything like that. And whenever I asked him about it, I was surprised too, because I was, brought up doing, my communion and confirmation and all that, Sunday school, and I couldn't get it. But he would tell me, hey man, I believe in nature. That's what he believed in. We're here, and you take care of nature, and you treat people good, and he didn't really believe in afterlife. But if there was one, I'd like to think that he went there, because he was a good guy, And I don't know what that's worth. I don't know, say there's a guy who goes to church every weekend, but during the week he's doing fucked up stuff.
Yeah.
Is that guy better?
Nope.
You know what I mean? So I don't think the end all be all is I'm not saying it's wrong, go to church. I think it's good. But I don't think you could say, well, this guy went to church all the time and this guy didn't. Well, this guy did some fucked up stuff, but he was still present at church every Sunday. This guy, so I think if there is some sort of judgment, I don't know how much weight that part has in it. You know what I mean? More than how you did your day-to-day stuff.
Mm-hmm.
Just kind of my thought on that. You guys have a lot of Jehovah's Witnesses? You got to run? Yeah, man. We've been on for 2.5 hours almost, dude.
Yeah, I got to hop off and go take care of my little girl now.
Okay. Hey, Ben, thank you so much, man, for hanging out with us again, dude. We'll do it again sometime, hopefully, man. It's been fun.
Yeah, definitely.
Yeah.
And I always appreciate whenever I get to come on here, because you guys are a blast. You guys are one of my very favorites to come hang out with.
You're welcome anytime. You know that, man. Yeah.
Always a good time.
Hell yeah. Thank you, bro.
Okay, but thank you. Thanks for listening, guys. You guys have a good night.
Okay.
All right, Ben. Take care.
Thanks, Ben.
Yeah.
All right, dude. Quite the evening on Halloween, dude.
Yeah, man. It was.
Only thing that was missing was Hialeah, dude.
Yeah.
What do you think happens when you die, dude?
What do you think would have happened if Hialeah was?
There would have been a lot of 0%.
Fucking disaster, right?
I would have liked to have seen Hialeah interact with some of the other people we had on tonight.
Yeah.
That would have been interesting.
I don't know, bro. Like I said, I was brought up Christian. So. My basis is heaven, heaven and hell.
Right.
But I've been straying away from that over the last few years.
Yeah, it's funny, dude. I don't know why, but my grandfather thought the way that I told you, nature, basically, we're animals is what he thought. We're just another animal.
Yeah.
But he still, he didn't behave like a savage. He was, by all accounts, a good guy. My dad, also not a church-going guy. Actually, I don't know if I go as far as saying anti-church, but definitely not a fan of the Catholic Church, and all that.
Yeah.
And then you end up becoming your dad, no matter what you say, dude. When you're young and you're fuck this guy, or whatever, you end up becoming your dad, dude. And more and more, I see myself becoming my dad, and my dad was my grandfather. And I don't know if my kid will become me, but it just certainly seems that way for whatever reason. But also my dad, like him, tries, he's still around, he's not dead yet, tries to treat people good and be respectful and all that. And then I also say he never goes to church, but that doesn't automatic, that's not a...
No, yeah, definitely, bro. There's definitely some wicked people that go to church, bro.
Those are the worst, dude.
Yeah.
You know, when I run into certain characters, you know, and I don't think that they're like the purest of people, but then they throw out like, you know,
Religion.
God bless you, and I'm gonna say a prayer for you tonight. I'm like, man,
Don't.
you know, that sounded phony, dude.
Yeah.
I wish you wouldn't have said that. I don't know. Maybe I'm being what do you call that?
Judgmental.
Yeah, I don't know. Dude, I'm gonna do the picks real quick. We're just gonna call them out. We're not gonna
Yeah,
get
yeah.
into detail before we go. Otherwise, we're gonna have to do another show.
We're already 1-0 though. By the way.
Yes, everybody had Green Bay on Thursday.
No. Aliyah had cards.
Okay, so
Rayo had the cards.
me and you. Who's Rayo?
Rail.
Oh, Rail. Yeah, one of his many nicknames.
I don't know about that one, dude.
I don't know, dude. Fucking, he misspelled his name, dude. Then he tried to play it off like it was a nickname that we've never heard of.
Yeah.
In 2 years doing the podcast and 40 years that I've known him, but whatever. We'll let it slide. He can't pronounce his name, so I would not be surprised if he cannot spell his name, but
Yeah.
whatever. Let's see. Let me see if he sent the text, right, with those pics.
Yeah.
All right, let's look them up real quick and bang those out and get out of here. You got to work tomorrow, bro?
No. Dude, let me go grab. I have to take some medicine at this time.
That's what you call it? All right, go ahead.
Hold on, I'll be right back.
All right, I'm looking up the pics. People, I hope everybody has a happy Halloween. Go dress up. Have fun with your kids. Have fun if you don't have kids. It's a cool time. I love this time of year because it's like the kickoff. It could be a distraction for all I know, but it's a kickoff of the holiday season for me. I think, you know, you get Halloween, you watch A Nightmare Before Christmas right after, then you start getting ready for Thanksgiving, you see all your family, then, you know, Christmas is around the corner, and I love this time of year. I really do. Okay, I got the picks, guys. Okay. By the way, that is the records as of last week, not including the Thursday night game. I was 6-6-1, so that was in week 7. 52, 51, and 4 overall. That's a 485 clip. Hialeah was 7-5-1, so that gives him 56. 47 and 4, a 523 clip. He's in the lead. Tank is in second place. We're pretty snuggled in close together there. Yeah. Tank's 54, 49 and 4. He's over 500.
Finally.
And Chad and Remo, those are old records. I didn't update their records. Chad he had a good record last week. He was 8-3. So he's 18-6, dude. That's excellent. I don't know what that works out to, but pretty good. All right. So Thursday night, we had the Cardinals and the Packers. The Packers were +6. Me and Tank got that right. Raul or Lucha or Hialeah or whatever you want to call him, he took the Cards. He was wrong. I wanted to take the Dolphins in this next game, but everybody took the Bills -13.5. If it would have been 14.5, I might have taken the Dolphins. But I'll tell you, dude, that certainly seems like a trap game. Like, yeah. I wouldn't be like fucking shocked if somehow the Dolphins pulled that off. Sounds retarded. I know it. Can you say retarded anymore?
I don't think so.
All right, I just said it. But we all took the Bills.
I don't think that's politically correct.
Hey, nobody's gonna tell me who I can and can't work with. Everybody's taking the Falcons -3, and I don't even know who they're playing, dude. Let's see, who are they playing? Let's share the screen. Falcons are playing the Panthers. Everybody took the Falcons on this one. We got the Eagles are favored by 3.5 at the Lions. And you guys are crazy, dude. You guys are taking Detroit. I am taking the Eagles on that one. This is an interesting game.
It is.
You would think, I mean, me and you think Tennessee's going to win this, but Raul went Indy on this one. You would think Tennessee can handle him, but I know they had a Thursday night game where the Colts beat them last year. I remember that. Division game. Next up, we got the Rams, and they're favored by 14.5. Everybody's going Rams here.
Yeah.
Next one is a consensus. Everybody. Oh wait, where's the Bengals? Did I fly through them? Here we go. Yeah, Bengals are favored by 10.5. And I think Joe Flacco's maybe playing this game. I'm not sure, but everybody's taking the Bengals. Then we got the Steelers, the Browns. Everybody except you is taking the Browns, which you take. Do you ever not take the Browns?
No.
Okay. And then next game after that, Niners at the Bears. Everybody's taking the Bears everybody's taking the Niners minus a 3.5 in this game. And then we got the Jaguars at the Seahawks.
You're taking the Hawks.
I'm the only one taking the Hawks. I figure, I know everybody's bashing Geno Smith. He's kept them in those games, though. Those games have gone down to the wire.
Yeah.
So if they're going to get one with Geno, it's going to be this one. So that's why I took the Hawks. But everybody else is taking the Jags on this one. This one's interesting. Patriots, Chargers at the Chargers. Everybody's taking the Chargers. Washington football team. They're not going to release their emails.
At the Denver Browns?
At the Denver Browns. I don't know what the fuck these people were thinking here. It's not a new football team, guys. It's actually the Denver Broncos. And me and you are taking the Broncos. Hialeah's taking the Redskins. Oh, they're not the Redskins. He wrote Redskins on here.
Wow.
Washington football team. He set me up for that.
Yeah, bro.
Yeah.
Definitely.
I'm going to have to have a chat with him about that. Next up, Buccaneers are favored by 4.5 of Saints. And I'm the only idiot that's taking the Saints here. You two are taking the Bucks. Sunday night game, the boys at the Vikings, and we're all in. Oh no, Hialeah's taking the Vikings. Me and you got the Cowboys, and then the Monday night game, we're all in unison, and we're all taking the Chiefs minus the 10 points. There's got to be a bounce back from the Chiefs, right? They can't keep shitting the bed.
Yeah. I don't even know what to tell you, bro.
I mean, I'm not taking them anymore if they don't cover this one. They got to beat the Giants, dude. All right, that's it for the picks. That's the picks. What else is going on? Did I have anything interesting to talk about before we go? Facebook started that whole metaverse thing. They changed the name of their company.
They're not called Facebook anymore?
Well, Facebook is Facebook, but like the whole company, Facebook now is just like a piece of their umbrella, which is called Meta. And he's trying to create
And before, what was it called?
I think Facebook was the main thing. And then like Instagram, WhatsApp, and all this other shit fell below it. But now it's Meta, and everything else is under Meta. And Meta is like the metaverse where they want to have like a virtual VR type fucking Matrix shit. That's the way I see it, at least. Is what they're doing. Those people are evil, dude. All right, I don't think any of this stuff is that important. I don't need to go into it. It's been a long show. The Dolphins suck ass, though. I wanted to mention that before we go. This is also the last guy to see a Dolphins Super Bowl. Rest in peace.
Speaking
Oh,
on
dude.
that, what happened with
Hey.
the bum?
I don't know, man. He had internet issues, I think, is what he said. Dude, I wanted to tell you this because I thought about your brother. Some scientists were able to get a pig organ, a kidney, to work on a human. It wasn't like a person in a vegetative state, but they were able to get a pig kidney to work on them.
That's crazy.
Yeah. So maybe that's coming down the pipe that they could do that. Where's the beginning of this story?
Before that, they would use like their arteries for the heart and shit.
Oh, really?
Yeah, yeah. One of their arteries, they could swap it out and put it like in the heart. A friend of mine got that surgery.
There's 90,000 people waiting for a kidney in the U.S.
Damn.
Yeah, dude. So I don't know, man. Like bacon, and you can give somebody a kidney. It's not a bad deal. So they're working on that. What else? Cigarette sales rose last year for the first time in 2 decades.
Wow.
Yeah.
Well, are they counting e-cigarettes?
No, this is like traditional cigarettes.
Oh, that's crazy. Well,
Yeah,
maybe everybody that's smoking those e-cigarettes started buying fucking cigarettes.
They say it had to do with the pandemic because
Oh,
alcohol
that's true.
sales were up. It says sales of smokeless tobacco and alcohol also increased last year. So like every single vice was popular. But the smoking had been declining every year since the year 2000, which had to do with anti-smoking legislation and dude, I smoked cigarettes like 6 years ago. Dude, by the end, before I quit, I felt like a leper, dude. Wherever, like if I would go somewhere, oh, you gotta go all the fuck way over there, to smoke a cigarette. You couldn't smoke inside hardly anywhere.
You had COVID.
Yeah, it was like you had COVID and AIDS together, dude. Like if you went to like Disney World, dude, you couldn't even forget it, dude. There was no place to smoke there. They made it such a hassle that you didn't even want to do it anymore.
It wasn't cool anymore.
No. Do you know a lot of people that smoke cigarettes?
Nah.
It's like
Well, I know a lot of older people.
It's like an old thing, right?
Yeah.
You probably know a lot of people that vape.
Yeah. I know a lot of people that smoke weed.
Oh yeah, that's always popular. There's also people who take Delta 8s.
Yep.
A lot of vapors. Is vaping more popular? You know more people that vape than smoke cigarettes?
Yeah, for sure.
Yeah, 100%. All right, dude. Let's get the fuck out of here, bro. Thank you to Ben. Thank you to the bum. Thank you to Morticia, the mortician. Whoa, not yet. Thank you to you, bro.
D was in the chat.
Thank you to D. We didn't have very many people in the chat tonight. And thank you to everybody watching on the replay. Let's get the fuck out of here.